Well, hello everyone out there in the world of Twitch and YouTube. Welcome to Flying with Mike. We're going to be in Cargo Lux today. We kind of mentioned this a little yesterday, sitting on the ramp here in Luxembourg. Kind of an interesting dichotomy there. But yeah, we are on the ramp here. We have Felis sitting in front of us, the 747-200, highly recommended. Matter of fact, just about actually every aircraft I fly is highly recommended. So just kind of funnel that in the back of your mind. But today, the 747-200 is off on about a hour and a half, 2 hour run from here up to Glasgow-Prestwick, UK in Scotland. So why don't we get up in the cockpit here and get this bird ready to go. All right, there we are, folks, in the office. This is what's called a classic. The 747-200, Queen of the Skies. I really still haven't determined what the king was. A couple of aircraft come to mind, but this one garnished the moniker of Queen of the Sky. A lot of aircraft come to mind that could fill the king, depending if you keep it Boeing, if you go all the classic airliners back then. I mean, there's a whole bunch that could fit into that. So, but anyway, in the style of a classic airliner, folks, they weren't like today, flown with two people, and don't be surprised in the near future they may only have one in the cockpit. Maybe one standing by, but one. And eventually, maybe some of you little whippersnappers, youngins, none. That one's kind of scary, none. But they're getting close to where they might drop to one. So I can remember those that were calling me a whippersnapper way back when, saying, oh, dropping from three, that's so dangerous. Well, they've been without three for a long time. So, but anyway, to the left is the captain, to the right is the first officer, the guy that makes them look good, takes care of the plane is behind him. He's the guy that did all the work. Of course, they're the one they got rid of, the flight engineer. So he manages this. Like to hearken it to if you've all ever seen the Bugs Bunny cartoon with them in a nosedive and he's got the book out, How to Fly. This is the panel like behind him. Yeah, I like that. That's a good analogy. So this guy did it all, from electrics over here to pneumatics and pressure to hydraulics to fuel, even managed how the engines were and the APU fire suppression and all of that good stuff. I mean, the man literally had the whole airplane. The only thing he didn't have, if you noticed, they didn't give him a control wheel. He might as well had him in the throttles here. I mean, good Lord, he did everything else. But they left that to the pretty boys up here, the captain and first officer. So anyway, we have fun with them, but sometimes you think that. All right, in the captain's seat we go. Let's start loading up this plane, shall we? Today's flight, before we get over here to actually load. So far, so good. I don't think I'm seeing any issues, either internet or OBS issues. So let's do it. Let's bring up Sim Toolkit. Now we are experiencing some issues with the Sim Toolkit. I'm going to try Volanta on another flight offline just to see if they're having the same issue. When I go to the live map, which is this icon here, oh, it loads, and you'll eventually see all the traffic minus ATC and the weather. So I don't know if they're experiencing some kind of a server connection issue or not. That's way above me, folks. All right, so there we are. We got a couple VATSIMers nearby. You can see them when you hover over them. But let's get in here. Loadout today. Now it's going to say peeps instead of cargo. That's because the Sim Toolkit doesn't really delineate cargo versus peeps for the 747-200. Does for other aircraft if they're selected as such, but there is not a profile in SimBrief for the 747-200. So we have to, we'll use an aviation term here, extrapolate. Actually, I think that's used in a few other things. But anyway, big one in aviation because we do that a lot with gauges and just kind of Spock from Star Trek would not like this word, guess. Kind of guesstimate where it is, on the charts and everything. So 281, bringing us to 61,820 pounds in the payload. All right, so we'll strive, basically what I'm going to strive for is getting as close to this zero fuel weight as we can. All right, and then we're going to load 65,390 pounds of fuel, or as close as we can get. Excuse me there, folks. Didn't mean to cough in your ears. A cost index, well, this aircraft is before the cost index years, so we're going to plan Mach 0.85. And cruise will be flight level 340. All right. So get rid of this and this, and let's get to trying to load the aircraft. All right, here we are, folks. This is the EFB. We have an AV tab, load calculator, refuel. You can see all the rest. We'll be using these quite a bit in flight. This is our ground. Actually, we won't be using this at all. So, oh, excuse me. Weather here is just going topsy-turvy. One day in the 70s, the next day in the 50s, and who knows what tomorrow will bring. So as a result, my nose is topsy-turvy. All right, so to start loading this plane, we got to first do the load calculator. Okay, it calculates, sets up your load sheet so that you can then go to the refuel and payload pages to physically upload your data. Okay, really don't do it from the load calculator. All right, currently you can see we're empty, zeros across the board. So our payload is 0. Our zero fuel weight is our lowest zero fuel weight. Okay, now we're going up to 281 peeps. Well, let's go ahead for packs, let's hit 75%, see where it nailed us at. Look at that, 287. Again, folks, we're not loading people, we're loading cargo. So part of me, let's get it down to 281 just to see. Okay. All right, so that brought us to a zero fuel weight of 448,509. Our goal here is 448. Wow, that nailed it. All right. Wasn't expecting that to happen. 448,509. Yeah, I'm still bewildered. I got to check SimBrief itself. Wow. And that's nothing below, folks. Well, heck, I'm going to leave it. All right, well, that was too easy. All right, so we're not going to be loading any cargo below. Now, if we wanted to, okay, here's what I would suggest do. Well, let's go ahead and do it. We know we got it with 281. We'll go to 50%. That brought us down to where we'll need 20,500 pounds. Cargo 1, 2, and 3 are delineated. Bulk I use to fill out. So we need 20,000 pounds. And yes, I know I'm going to be over intentionally. Actually, I'm going to back them down to 6. Okay. Now that intentionally put us to 446,059. So technically, let's go 5. Oop, too much. 400 in each. Okay, there we go. That's a good working number. So I need 1,300. We'll put it right here. Okay, 448,049, 509. I'll get it right. Yep, 509. Okay, I'm going to call that close enough. So you can see how we're set up here. I use the bulk as how I get us close enough to it. I'm going to go ahead and go up the extra. All right, so we're 40 pounds over. All right. That takes care of the cargo, folks, and it's just a working to get the zero fuel weight to match. I know we had it perfect. It's a cargo plane, folks. I need cargo down below too. That's me. All right, now for this flight, we are at 600 miles. So I'm going to set for 700 because it's actually 600 and I just saw it, 5 miles. Let's round up to be safe. Going to be at 34. This is where we get a little tricky, the tailwind. Gotta find my winds. There they are, 087. So we're going into the wind. Let's see. First off, our alternate is Manchester, and that is going to take us this is the one thing I don't like about this. It doesn't give me that distance. $175 miles. Just found it. 200 miles to there. All right, now our fuel weight is 65,390. Sorry. So we're wanting our total fuel. We're already way over. All right, so I'm just going to go with this, folks. We're going to be putting 72,089 pounds in. All right, here's our load sheet. Okay, loads in the compartments. Okay, passengers. Okay, great. Remember, that's cargo, folks. 41,000 there, 20,000 below. Here's our zero fuel weights and all of our fuel, or weights, and fuel is in here as well. All right, so we'll return. We're done with this page, folks. Now let's get to loading. We still got a couple steps to do, so we could let it do some things on its own. We could let it board, load. First off, we got to do this. or we can do it instantly. I'm going to go ahead and let it do its thing. And the neat thing is it'll close door, not the main door, but the cargo, the lower doors here in a minute. Fuel, I am still very uneasy with it. So I am going to go for the instant option just because I loaded it once using this and I may have done it wrong, but it ended up with fuel values way out of place. All right, and you can see in the time that we've done all of this, we're cruise boarded 10, which is kind of laughable. There'd only be 2, 3, maybe 5 total on the whole plane. But anyway, we're building up quick enough. The cargo is as well. It'll be done here in a split second. Yeah, there it is. Now, if we look outside, going through the building, see the cargo doors closing up. So they're done below. All right, so here we go, folks. Let's get the plane in the air and going. First off, I'm going to go ahead. Oh, no, I'm not. We'll get it opened, but we're not going to start it. And that is my ACARS program. Reason being, we're still putting people in, so the zero fuel weight's going to change. And I don't want any numbers all screwed up in there because of being in a hurry. We're only up to 50 of, what was it, 188? So, you know, they just take their time, these packages these days. They won't get in the plane. All right. Oop. All right, so let's go on here. Let's see. Oh, let's go ahead and fire up the APU. Okay, we're just waiting for the bottom one to clear. Door open. There we go. And we can watch the needles all go up. All right. For this test, I'm going to go ahead and close the 2 upper APUs. All right, we're going to check to see if we have hertz and volts. So current, okay, looks good. And voltage looks good. All right, now we'll bring it on. We were already on ground power, now we're on internal and internal air. Trim air is on. I got the humidifier on. Okay. And I'm going to get number 3 up and going too. All right, we're ready to go. And I've done all the checks. Basically what I mean by that, I've done this. Well, actually, I did not. There, forgot to do the APU. Did it? Shouldn't do it while it's running, but I did. All right. Doors still open and loading, everything else. I've gone through basically, if it said test next to it, I hit test, which was right here. I checked my fire bottles right here. Now, the way you check your fire bottles, what I do is go all the way back to the bulkhead here, have the camera facing the overhead. There's your fire bottles, folks. Your T-handles for engine fires. Down, up. Make sure everything lights off up here. Same with this one, just one for the cargo. Then you have another test. Then you can check this panels and so forth. Almost there, folks. Look, 163, getting close. 20 more to go. Those stragglers we all love to hate in the terminals. Fuel load. Gross weight. Okay, wait a minute here. Why am I having a hard time with this? A load sheet? Oh, wait. $518.8. That's why. Okay. There we go. Now we're set right. And we should be loaded. 188, 188, all accounted for. All right, so we're done with that. Let's come back here, get the checklist up. All right, we're going to have it do all of these for us. Let's get up here. I already know one that needs to happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. On behalf of the entire crew, welcome aboard the Boeing 747 Classic. We will depart shortly after we have our clearance and the cabin crew is finished with their preparations. For now, I wish you a pleasant flight, and I will be back during the flight with further flight information.
All right, so we just need to make sure. I'm just going through real quick. Okay, this one we're going to be talking. I think we'll be good on the rest of this. Let's find out.
Before start checklist, please. Gear lever and lights. Down and check. Brakes. Parked. Start levers. Off. Radios. On and check. Flight control hydraulic power. On. INS. Check and nav. Compasses. Slaved. Window heat. On. Seatbelts and no smoking. On. Emergency lights. Armed. Exterior lights. Damn.
All right, we'll get to that just a second here. I'm just getting the, so I don't forget. I'll be honest, I'm not sure this one is. Oh. All right, looks like I get to improvise. get our route put in, and our ACAR system is ready. Okay, ACAR system's up and running. Okay, held up on external lights. Why? Very simple. It is in the thought process that we're ready to push back, so the beacon
Check.
would be on.
Flight instruments. Check. Altimeters and clocks. 1017 set and cross check. Radio INS switches. Radio. Radar and transponder. Standby. Indicator lights. Check. Engine and wing anti-ice. Off. Stall warning. Check. Mach airspeed warning. Check. Auto brakes. Check and off. Body gear steering. Arm. Anti-skid. On. Autopilot and flight director. Check and off. Takeoff warning. Check. Autoflight enunciators. Check. GPWS. Damn.
Okay. I actually checked that, folks, and this happens from time to time.
Pull up. Instrument warning. Check. Flight director computer selectors. Check. Instrument source selectors. Normal. Reserve brake valve. Closed. Spoilers. Down. Static selectors. Normal. Oxygen mask and regulator. Check and emergency off. Brake pressure. Check. Stabilizer trim. Check and on. Rudder and aileron trim. Check. Checklist completed.
All right, that takes care of up front here. Now, this one will get dicey because we're going to run into some issues where, for instance, EPR computer, they say go around. I have it set for what's called takeoff dry. All right, let's kind of zoom down here. Takeoff dry. There actually is a takeoff wet. I don't understand the theories and philosophies and all behind injecting water, but that's what they did at one time. That's why you got that real smoky takeoffs. And I just don't get it. So just call it because I'm used to the new engines. I don't know. So I will mark that one checked. And we'll have some with the pressurization, bleed valves, and all of that. We'll see how we do through there. Fuel panel also is expecting us to be ready to push. I'm not 100% because I do want to give us a good departure brief. Well, the arrival we can do in flight. We got a little bit of a track up there, but not much. Here we go.
Battery on. APU panel. Check. Auxiliary power. Check. Engine oil quantity. Check. Fuel quantity. 71926 sounds. Fuel panel. This.
I'm going to do a quick cross-feed check here, folks. Make sure the light goes out. If you're not, do it again. If you do it fast, you won't see it.
Check and set.
Okay.
Pressurization controls. Check and set. Bleed controls. Let's see. Check and set. Hydraulic quantity. Check. EPR computer. Let's see.
All right, again, it's wanting it to be in go around. We're keeping it in takeoff dry. So,
Circuit breakers. Check. Indicator lights. Check. Electrical panel. Check and set. Air conditioning controls. Check and set. Fire control and wing overheat panels. Check and set. Equipment cooling. Check. Passenger oxygen. Check. Hydraulic panel. Check and set. Fuel jettison panel. Check. Crew oxygen. On. Oxygen mask and regulator. Check and emergency off. ADPs off. Checklist completed.
all right, and with that, that puts us ready to get the start going here momentarily. So let us take a look now at the what we plan to do out of here. So I am going to first get rid of that. Secondly, let's get some toolkit up here. No, we'll use charts because I got to do too much work. There we go, charts. All right, and I'm going to hide this, and we're going to start on the airfield. We'll do our taxi. All right, so the game plan, folks, is runway 6 for departure. So you can see we got 13,000 feet of runway to taxi down on, what is that, taxiway Alpha. So here we'll face south. Simple pushback, and then we'll go. Luxor is an airline that flies out of here. I'm not sure what their status is, but they're the ones that, you know, are based out of here. Just for those curious, European guys, you know, have at it. That's all I know. All right, for the departure. So we'll get down here 6 and we'll go down. We'll get the numbers here in a minute. All right, so try to do this in kind of 3 parts. Transition level 4,500 feet. So hang on. All right, and where I think we have a transition. Oh, here it is. Right in front of me. 4,500. Okay. All right. Just getting that put in there. Okay, so transitions 4,500 Luxembourg approach immediately after takeoff. SIDS, blah, blah, blah. You got all that. Initial turns are calculated upon 250 knots. Bank angle 325. Okay, got all that. So basically what we're going to do is off the Luxembourg VOR 112.25. Kind of blocked right now. We'll show that here. We're going to fly 058 to a distance of 6 miles. At that point, we start our turn to intercept radial 120 off of Dietrich, and then we fly to Dietrich and then on to our route. No altitude restrictions on this, folks. There is no initial charted. Oh wait, yes there is, 4,000. Well, we're going to go right through it. Unless otherwise instructed. I've been instructed to go all the way to 34. If it was that easy. All right, so, and then there's our climb gradients and all of that good stuff. All right, so again, Luxembourg to the 300 inbound of Dietrich, and then on. Now, we are Luxembourg and Brussels control. It's, I think, one and the same. Don't get me wrong. Could be wrong here. Don't do a lot of VATSIM in your. It's not because I never know what to expect. It's because I never know what to expect. I really don't. Language barriers sometimes get to be a problem, the whole 9 yards. So I kind of get really leery of coming on. So, because we're all trying to have a good time, and some people take it too far and then we don't have fun. So, and I've got a handful of them in the US that I don't fly on either. So, LA, Oakland, and Boston come right to mind. O'Hare and Chicago right behind them very closely. So, they're known for problems with when I'm flying with them. So I choose not to be online with them. All right, so there's our departure portion of the brief. So you can kind of see it on the map. Then we go up here to LNO, to Brussels, DENUT, across the channel, just barely in what Simaware shows as the center, then on up here to Scotland. And then we'll talk about this portion later. Okay, let me pull this away. Now let's get down to the nitty-gritty. I'm going to keep charts up offline so that you all can see. So, as you saw, we are to fly Luxembourg 1225s right here, dialed in 058 outbound to a distance of 6 miles. We're 0.7 right now. You get the drift. Once we get out there, unfortunately, we can't switch. So that 1440 is over here. We're going to turn to 300 and go direct. I'll probably be getting on the FMC mode and going that route at that point. Till then, we're on our own. Okay. So let's go ahead, punch in legs, punch in progress. Good. And now, so there you have it, folks. And I do have the headings punched in here. The only thing I haven't done is got our initial headings set. Oop, too fast. Okay, 358, 6,000. You know what? We'll set 4. My problem is I level off and then I get too fast, too quick. All right, and we'll go ahead and get the directors on. All right. Let's talk numbers. Performance calculation. How heavy were we again? Hang on a second. Okay, we're not all that heavy, so I might just go ahead and go with flaps 10. All right, so all right. All right, I have a feeling that is not very correct. Luxembourg is reading 020 at 10. 8 and 1017. Okay, hang on on, I need to check something here. What is 1017? .3003. Okay. So down, up, try, 020 at 10. All right, now runway. We're going out on a 13,100 foot runway. Elevation is 1. How'd it go? 2, 3, 4. So heading 057. Okay, so there you go, folks. The numbers are in. If I bump it up to 20, folks, this is really ambiguous because, folks, this plane, I've never seen a 747 off that quick. It's usually a minimum of 4. I mean, and even 4, I don't think I've ever seen. About 5 to 7,000. So I don't know, and I know there's real 747 pilot 200s, 200 types, and feel free to let me know I'm wrong. I would love, because I just have a hard time. All right, so with the results, this aircraft, this simulator, 119, 125, 144. So V1's 119, rotate 125, 145 V2. Here's our flaps up speeds. And all you got to do is click speed bugs, set speed bugs, and now they're set over. Okay, and then the caret right here, which you set, that's not very visible here. Anyway, well, you set it up here. There's your V2. Okay, and our pitch will be, our trim will be 3.6. Let's take a look. Well, we need, probably think we, yep. All right, what am I doing? Green band select here. Nose down, we'll extend the green band to handle that. We're not going to set it, just extends it. And initial pitch of 18 degrees. So as we pull the nose up and we will start getting into about an 18-degree climb out it, and execute our, getting out of here. Once we cross 10,000 feet, we'll up to 295. All right, there you go, folks. One last look at the Queen while on the ramp, and we got the door open and the chock still in, and you can see the external power cart still there. All right, so we'll come here, go to ground. All our doors were closed over here. It would say close if they were open. Okay.
Cockpit to ground. Disconnect ground power.
And folks, we're ready to push back. Whoopee 2017, welcome aboard again. Thanks for coming in. Hope you enjoy. Sorry it's about 20 minutes late. This plane, without the INS, is still lengthy to get going. With the INS, we'd still have another 30 minutes to go on the ground. That's one reason why I choose not to use it. All right. So we got the ground power disconnected. You can always verify it, folks. These lights will no longer be lit. And, of course, the ultimate way to verify, hey, the cart's not there anymore. But we still have chocks. Doors are all closed, so we're good to set up for pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go. cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Okay. Beacon on.
Cockpit to ground. Remove the chocks.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect. Set parking brake.
Chocks removed.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
All right, folks, we're ready to push. Let's make sure the beacon's on, and it is. Wing lights we'll leave off for now. And here we go. Parking brake off.
Parking brake released.
Starting pushback, and you may start the engines.
Okay, now what I have found works for me. You can start them individually. Technically, this APU is strong enough to give you 2 engine starts to get out quicker. I'm only going to do the first 2,
Ready to start the engines.
3 and 4
Ready
from
for engine start.
individually, and then 1 and 2 together.
Starting engine 3.
Starter valve open.
Okay. And then what we're going to be watching for, basically the flight engineer is taking care of it, but we're building up pressure back here. At 20, he'll tell us, and then we can move the valve from cutoff to idle.
%, and 2.
Fuel on. Light up.
Starter off.
And then we're waiting for stable.
Engine stabilized.
Perfect. I'm going to do it this way so we get them all on number 2.
Starting engine 4.
Starter valve open.
Okay. Same thing. Number 4 is over here.
%, and 2.
Fuel on. Light up.
Starter off.
Okay, and again, waiting for stable.
Engine stabilized.
Starting engine 1.
Starter valve open.
Operation complete. Please set parking brake.
Starting engine 2.
Starter valve open.
Parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
%, and 2.
Okay, that's engine 1.
Fuel on.
20% and 2.
Light up. Fuel on.
Starter off.
Light up.
Starter off. Engine stabilized.
That's engine 1,
Engine stabilized.
engine 2. And there you go, folks. You got all the engines running. Now, one quick note here. XP12 users, if do not get engines stabilized on any of them, check which version you're running. Really wish we could get rid of the 11 stuff that comes in when we're upgrading. I tried once on an airplane and it hosted up big time. Thank you for flying with Mike there, Pushback. We'll see you next time. It is what it is, or at least for me. And just a mental note. If you don't get stabilized, you won't. It also occurred on the, well, actually the rest of the aircraft, it'll tell you. There's the pins. So, but this one doesn't. Okay. All right, let's get over here and get on engine power. Close. Close. Also, will not be able to close your generators because you don't have... Oh, excuse me. Now I got hiccups. You won't be able to get your gens started because you don't have enough pressure and all of that good stuff. The engines aren't wound up yet. So, we're now on all 4 of these. And yes, you could have gone through and checked them all. I've just opted to get going. All right, so lead valve closed. Off the gen. Stop. Now we'll turn these back on. As well as... Alright, and... DPs. Don't have any fuel in there, so why have it on? One thing you'll notice with the APU, it automatically fires up fuel pump number 2 in the aft. It's the easy one to get to. It's an automatic deal. All right, if you remember right, we left off here. Brake pressures, start, anti-ice, and we're set to go.
After start checklist.
Flight recorder.
On.
Start switches.
Off.
Beacon lights.
On.
Brake pressure.
Check.
Start levers.
Idle detent.
Engine and the ice.
Off.
Electrical panel. Check. Pack valves. Open. Dual warning lights. Out. Hydraulic panel. Check. Flight recorder. On. After start checklist completed.
As you notice, we have it here too.
Flaps 5. Flaps 10.
Just easier for me to read. Takeoff data, EPR set. Stabilizer is not set. We'll get that right now. Set 3.6. Okay, we'll go ahead and do our column check. Okay, now I do a special aileron check to make sure I can slowly ease into it. Reason being, I find if I don't do that and I get on approach, it'll do this number. Just with the slightest, you know how you have to sometimes just slightly adjust. Just getting it to like this level where I want it, it'll snap it over. Making it very, very fun. All right, and and then you can get rid of them. All right, and finally, and that's on the taxi checks. Pro heats on. Let's get up here and get those turned on. Anti-ice, we'll go with engines, even though we're clear here. Temperature-wise, we'll use them.
Cabin crew, arm slides.
Yaw dampers are checked and set. Fuel heat off. Let me make sure. Tucker 257. I don't know if the freighter version is available yet or not. I would. I don't think I've seen anything. Now, what you can do, there is a mod where you can close out the windows. You can also set it up for how the 100s had only 3 on the top. But I don't know if there's a freighter version. But check with Felis. Their Discord site keeps it up to date pretty decently. And by the way, thanks for the follow. Sure appreciate you coming aboard and being a part of Flying with Mike. Half cargo heats on, fuel, seatbelts. I think we're set. I always say that and it gets
Taxi
caught.
checklist, please.
Flaps. Flaps 10.
Flaps 10.
Takeoff data, EPR and airspeed bugs.
Set and cross-check.
Stabilizer trim.
Set in green band.
Probe heat.
On.
Flight controls.
Check.
Yaw dampers.
Check.
Seatbelts and shoulder harness.
Check.
APU. Off. Fuel heat. Off. Totalizer and gross weight. Set. Flight engineer and pilot panels. Check. Aft cargo heat. Normal. Seatbelts and shoulder harness. Check. Taxi checklist completed.
Okay, here we go, folks. Parking brake off, and we're going to taxi to runway
Parking
6.
brake released.
I'm actually more nervous about not having it on the engine anti-ice into Prestwick than here. So, but again, hey folks, by the way, welcome to spring. It is March 2nd, so turn this down a little bit. Not a lot. Gotta love those engines. We got a long way to go to get down there. Nice thing about cargo, folks, other than FedEx and UPS, DHL to a point, everything else is charter. So the word on time, late, really is not in the vernacular form because it's not really scheduled. They just try to be on time with the times that they're working. Because, say, for instance, you're going from Los Angeles to Tokyo. Well, you do have a specific time, 1, to get in, and 2, if you miss or come in late after hours, not after you're scheduled, but after hours, there's a big fine. So, and believe me, the dispatchers double check that when you come over Anchorage. And if one, you're not going to make fuel, and two, you're going to be in that quiet time, you're going to be landing in Anchorage. Unless special provisions can be made. I don't know how much money involved. All right, let's go ahead with the cabin alert.
All doors are closed and armed. And on behalf of our captain and the entire crew, I wish you welcome.
Like I said, long way to go. 13,000 feet to be exact, folks. Getting to be about the halfway point. That's really good scenery here. I really like it. I know you Musfussers can tell me, well, you haven't seen it yet in Musfuss. You're right, I won't. So, I'm just not going back to Microsoft. So, but anyway, we've got a little bit of a jog to the left, jog to the right to get down there, and then we'll be ready to go. So, folks, for those of you new, it'd be like Tucker257. Go ahead, smash that follow button, and you can find out when we're flying next. This will probably be the last stream of the week. I don't think I'm going to be flying this weekend. So, see you next week. Be Tuesday, Wednesday probably will be our streams, and maybe next week Friday. We'll see. I've got to look at my schedule. So, got a 48-hour shift coming up this month, so I want to make sure I'm on track for it, and not accidentally schedule up and make y'all have to suffer with not having a stream. Hey, a little further to go, folks. But again, and if you're watching this, folks, on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. It's the same as following in Twitch. Only difference is in Twitch, if you click subscribe, you pay the Twitch or Twitch Prime price tag. In YouTube, it's like following. So it's a free. Email is the most it costs you, and lets you know that another video is available. We're not flying live on YouTube for now. We may eventually if Twitch, we keep having troubles like yesterday. I don't know if it's Twitch, OBS, my internet provider. All three culprits I can never rule out. So, knows? All right, so let's run that before takeoffs.
Before takeoff checklist.
Icing considerations. Check. Cabin alert. Check. Transponder. Check. Ignition.
Flight start.
Body gear steering.
Damn.
Okay, we're going to keep that disarmed until we're on the runway.
Back valves.
And we're going to leave them.
Wait.
Hang on a second, I'll go ahead and knock those out. Passenger,
Close.
I'd wait till we're on the runway too.
Pressurization mode selector. Auto. Fuel boost pumps. On. Cross feed valves. Check. Before takeoff checklist completed.
Next one is after takeoff, which many a times we're lucky to get to before 10,000 feet. All right, Luxembourg traffic, cargo Lux 572 heavy, departing runway 6. Really hate that sometimes. I can't get that mouse right in that right sweet spot. Here we go. All right. Some of you may be asking, what is body gear steering? Let me see if I can show it off here. Okay. As I get ready to turn into my takeoff position, you see how the mains down there are turning with the nose gear to help it basically around tighter curves. Okay, everything appears good. All right, so with it straightened out, we'll go ahead and click it down. Lights are on. We're ready for takeoff. And flaps are 10. Here we go.
Cross set.
Speed alive, 8. Like I said, we'll be airborne quick, and it shouldn't be like this. V1.
V1. Rotate.
V1 rotate. V2.
Positive rate. Gear up.
Gear up.
Okay. We've crossed Luxembourg VOR. Let's go flaps 1. Landing
Flaps
gear
5.
on. Packs coming on.
Flaps 1. Flaps up.
Okay, turning to heading 300.
10,000 feet.
And 14. We're in here. Okay, so we're going to come off this. We're going to the notes. And we'll get the lights off real quick. Again, we're looking for 295. Five. And at the same time, we're now direct. And we'll go. All right, so.
Approach checklist, please.
Seatbelts and shoulder harness.
Check. After takeoff checklist.
Gear lever.
Off.
Landing and logo lights.
Off.
Ignition.
Check.
Seatbelts.
18,000 feet.
Check. Back valves. Open. Fuel heat. Wait. Auto. After takeoff checklist completed.
All right, folks, we're on our way. Actually, one of my better takeoffs. I'll be kind of shocked. Now we're just getting the speed down to the proper climb, and we'll put it in Now, when I mean putting it into IAS, we'll put it right here, not down on the EPR. Here, let me show you the EPR. It's right up here as well. We've got Mach and speed. Once we get into our cruise, we'll be into that. Mach once we get above, but for now, let's just about there. Let's watch it. Get closer. I've kind of steepened our climb up because I let it get away from me. And there we go, folks. 295 and IAS. So now the pitch will lower to maintain 295, and it'll use the pitch to control it. Once we get to a certain point, we're actually getting really close. When we're at about Mach 0.83-ish to 8.5-ish, we'll start putting it into Mach climb and then Mach on the speed. See how she's kind of porpoising through? That's what it does to maintain that speed. Okay, and there you go, folks. 27 to 29 thousandths when we'll start getting into that. Let's take a look out here. Quick second. See the little bit of porpoise it does. Going through Belgium here. And I was late on the timer here, so add about 5 minutes to it. We've been about 11 or so minutes in flight. But folks, we are on our way, so I am going to put some music on in the background so we can kind of sit back and relax. We got about an hour to get there, hour and 5 minutes. And see if the live map's loading any better. All right, let's see how it's doing. Still having a little bit of trouble. It's getting the flight information into it, just not the weather and ATC. I'm not sure which one is using it up. got to put it in altitude select, folks. All right, there we go. Now we'll wait for it to center on 0. And then we'll put her in. All right, and we're on cruise. We're in lock, and close that out. All right, folks, we are now in cruise. And looking at about an hour's time frame of being into Prestwick in Scotland. So enjoy the ride, folks. We'll start talking about the arrival here in a few minutes. So for now, kind of sit back, relax, folks. It's Friday Eve in most of the world, and in the Far East might be pushing over into Friday already. So you made it, folks. The end of the week, right at the other end of the tunnel. See you in a few. Alright folks, back from the galley, had to get some coffee. So we can bring this bird in about 45 minutes or so. Excuse me. Alright, so like I said, we're about to make our, about to cross the channel, I think. Hang on, let me get a nice screenshot of that. Yep, looks like the channel is right ahead. Alright, so as you can tell, we are flying for Cargo Lux. We left Luxembourg. We're headed to Prestwick, Scotland. Airport's actually called Glasgow-Prestwick. Something obviously happened in the past. I've flown into this with Atlas a few times. Globe Cargo, that is virtual airline, not the real Atlas. Before people start thinking I actually fly these things. I only fly them on the sim. Alright, so there she is, folks, the Queen, getting ready to go feet wet across the channel. Alright, let's get back in the office. And let's take a look at the arrival. Alright, for that we'll use charts again. So you can kind of see we're getting ready to cross over the channel here at DENUT. Islands when we'll be across into the UK. Alright, so today we're going to be flying the Apple arrival into Prestwick, Apple 2 Papa. Pretty simple, straightforward. Where the fun comes in is after Turnberry. So this is a RNAV DME approach. So technically this aircraft would, in real world times back in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, would not be able to fly this particular approach. It would be more of a standardized VOR to VOR kind of deal. However, we have FMCs, so we have the RNAV ability. Okay, max speed below 10,000 is 250. I think we all can say the word duh. And then for the Apple 2P, it's Apple, the ALSIP at 26,000, NP 20,000. Then Toxta at 7,000 to 10. Then the TRN VOR at 7,000 to 10 on the speeds. So very critical on those, and you'll see why here in a minute. Now we're planning 1-2, which is right here. Okay, so descent planning 26,000 by ALSIP, 20,000 by NP, Toxta, and TRN or Turnberry VOR 7,000, 250 or 210 on the speed on those. Okay, pretty simple. Do we have a transition? Of course, set by ATC. Oh, I hate charts like that. Oh well, it is what it is. Okay, like I said, we're planning the ILS to runway 12. I told you, here's where the fun begins, folks. Oh, and pardon me, folks, for yawning in your ears like that. Alright, so again, ILS, DME or localizer DME 12. Alright, top half gives you your ATIS. May or may not get that Prestwick approach and tower. However, we do need this. This is our localizer, 110.3. Approach course final, that is. That's this course right here, 123. Okay, at distance 6 from the localizer, 2,000 feet on glide path. And decision altitude of 238 MSL, which equates to 200 feet AGL. Your bold is MSL, bracketed AGL. And then you got your missed approach, which is basically climb to 3,000, but at 2,500 we'll make a climbing right-hand turn back to the NDB at Prestwick. It's not a VOR, folks. It's an NDB. Welcome to other parts of the world that actually still use that gauge. Actually, it's a pretty good gauge from what I understand. It's just a pain in the rump to learn. And we stay at maximum speed of 210. Transition levels, altitude is 6,000. So those are things we need to keep in touch with. 3,900 feet transitioning to 4,000 feet is our minimum safe altitudes. Okay, radar ranges will be given at 9 miles outbound. Okay. Missed approach, unable to receive NDB, then climb on runway heading to turn and hold at 6,000. Okay. All right, so you can see kind of the procedure here, folks, and I'm going to do this actually in the best I can because it is such a big chart. There we go. All right, so here's where we ended our approach at Turnberry. We're a Class D aircraft, so we're going to fly 342 to 12-mile DME to 4,000, down to 2,000 at 14,000, level off, and begin our intercept of the localizer. Okay. From there, we're going to fly inbound. Again, we're back over water, so the good thing is there's nothing going to hit us except maybe offshore wells and all that good stuff. Anyway, coming in, there's DME 6. Again, DME 6, denoted 2,000 feet on glide path. Coming in. And then we'll drop in. We'll be at about 140 to about 150, so 800 feet a minute. We don't have any times, so when we get to DME 0.7, we better see the runway. Minimums. 238 again, MSL, 550 RVR, unless if we're not using the flight director, autopilot, HUD, or DA, it goes up to 750 visual range, like our RVR in the States. And then you can see the rest. Okay, the good thing is I've already programmed all of this. See where okay, we're still out over the channel, just crossing into the UK airspace if we were online. Okay, now I'm going to get over here to the panel. We're going to start with the fuel into from our reserves into our 1 and 4 main tanks. Just open the valves up. And then they'll come up close to 12,000. All right, so we're set there. Final, let's do our performance. Read from the load sheet. Let's go to landing, why don't we? Okay, 481. All right, Prestwick, let me get rid of this chart. Prestwick, if everything goes as planned, we're going to probably use the whole run. Come off either at Sierra or come off runway 21 and back taxi to Romeo and taxi back. I'll show you my game plan for parking. You all can let me know. Jess Bonner, hey, welcome aboard. US is decommissioning localizers. I haven't heard that. Interesting. I'll have to check at the airport I work at and see what's going on with that and what the replacement is. Because that's a key part of the ILS system. But hey, welcome aboard. Thanks for the first time chat. Okay, flaps 30. Let's do this and let's see how close to right it is. Okay, for the weather in Prestwick. Let me see, have we seen it yet down here? I don't think so, so we'll do this. I think I got it right. Hang on a second. GPK. Yes, I got it right. Alright, so we got 060. No, we don't. Okay. Winds 6. Oh. This ought to be fun if the sim is putting it out that hard. What is it? 10:30. We'll leave that pretty close for now. Temperature 7. Okay, so we got a broken deck at 3,200 feet and 7. All right, runway. Let's get our runway info in here. 9,800 feet. Heading 23. And the altitude is 65 feet. Round up. Okay. All right. So this is our data from there. Okay, everything looks good. The nice thing about this, it tells me how much runway we're going to use with the individual brake settings. I'm going to go medium, and we'll set our speeds. BREF's 130, so 140. That's pretty good. All right. Okay, that's all looking good. All right, so we're looking at about 5,400 feet, so let's go ahead and set to medium. All right, we're set up there. Let's get our bearings on. Oh, I wanted to show you what we plan to do at the airport. Okay, as you look at the chart here, folks, we're going to be coming in 1-2. About 5,300 feet would be about right in here. I'm just going to ease up on the brakes and come off here at Sierra to Romeo and just come all the way down here, and we're going to park. If I'm in the wrong here, folks, if any of you from the Prestwick area, I'm heading for number 6 here. I don't know if that's accurate or not. In the past, I know cargo parked either 7 or 8. So that's why I'm leaning to these. So let me know. Okay, so we're turning up now. All right, so let's. Okay, we are in the neighborhood of Stansted below us. Let's see what we can see and get mindful real quick. Our arrival. So 26. All right. So about 20. Okay, so we come over Apple, we'll begin our descent. All right, now let's look for Stansted below us. May or may not see it. I'm going to go with the may not see it. All right. Okay, folks, looking at our let's do something here. Now, we do have one INS unit here, folks. Let's kind of play with it a little. Hey, we got a 097 at 3.5. And since it's not programmed, that's why it's not giving us any track and ground speed of 512. Not bad. All right, so let's come up to here. Top of descent lies. Hang on, is that 200 miles? Close to it. Okay. Yeah, because I'm thinking about Apple is where we're going to start to come down. It's about 24 to 36 miles from where we need to be at 26,000. And we'll just continue coming down till we get to the 7,000 at Turnberry. All right. So it's going to be close. So for now, folks, we got about 5-10 minutes. Feel free to put a prediction in for the arrival. It's just simply, helps to spell the word right. Exclamation mark, the word predict, and then a negative number. Just like you saw me do. All right, and again, welcome aboard, folks. If you're liking the content you see here on Twitch, smash follow. It's free. Just get an email letting you know the next time we go live, when we go live. Folks watching this rebroadcasted on YouTube, smash the subscribe button, folks. Then you'll be notified of when a new video releases. We got a couple in the pipeline right now. This will be sometime next week coming out to YouTube. So should be coming out the week of hang on, I'll get it to you. The week of between the 5th and the 11th somewhere it should be coming out. So but anyway, folks, hope you're enjoying. Any questions, comments, please use the chat bot or come on over to our Discord channel. Like tomorrow will be a 24-hour shift for me, folks, so there is no stream tomorrow. Saturday, I'm right now scheduling no stream. Not to say I may pop up with something short. Got a couple ideas percolating up there. But family time comes for me on the weekend. The wife's working at home. So we don't get to do much, so we go out and do a lot of things on our Saturdays and Sundays. Then I have another 24-hour shift Monday, so Tuesday would be the next for sure scheduled stream. And we'll go from there. I'll be putting that together here later today. Again, Discord's a great place to see where we're flying next week. Also, Twitchers, down below in the comment, not the comment, but the section that tells you about the stream, look for the schedule. You'll see it there. And I really do try to stick to it. Today I was about 5 minutes late getting going, and I kind of knew it was going to happen because a couple of things went wrong, and it happens. So anyway, we do try to come online around 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock Central U.S. time. Equates, folks, until daylight saving time kicks in here in the States. Right now to 1600 for the 10 o'clock slot, 1700 Zulu for the 11 o'clock slot here in St. Louis. I think daylight savings time is next week, not this weekend, but the following. I'll check at work. We have a thing up there because we have to switch as well there when we have NOTAMs and all. So, but for now, folks, enjoy the ride. And we'll be chatting with you here in about a couple of minutes. We'll be getting pretty close. We have somehow come off course. Interesting. Let's get over to heading. And let's go direct Mamul. Yeah, Mamul. That's interesting. Just happened to look over here. I'm like, not tracking like we're supposed to. Okay, show you real quick what happened. So we were supposed to go over Stout and Betox, and we ended up out here somehow, and I don't really know why. So now we skipped these guys. That's why we couldn't really see it. We were already off course. All right, so now we're headed up here to Mamul, and then on course. That's why you gotta sometimes really kind of watch what it's doing, folks. So. And the good thing, and welcome to the old days, folks. This is, there are no nav displays. So you're not gonna see the magenta line. You got to really be careful out here, so. Alright. Alright, so weather-wise, still hasn't changed. 0606, 17, 32. All right, yeah, 10:30. See what that equates out to here shortly. All right, folks, and while I have just about 5-10 minutes here, I like to try to incorporate about a 5-minute devotional time here. We run the verse of the day, and you can find that hashtag verse of the day, all one word. And they got a really good one today. Salvation is found in no one else. For there is no other name under heaven given to men by which we must be saved. Folks, that comes from while Peter and John were on trial. This is New Testament, Acts 4:12. They're defending the gospel. They're defending the healing of the man that they had just healed, standing not far from them to the Sanhedrin. And, right there in the beginning, salvation is found in no one else. You personally may have heard that there are many ways to heaven. There's not just one way. A lot of people believe that, and it's wrong. Or perhaps all roads ultimately lead to God. But our culture seems to be brought into an idea that there are things which are true for me, but they're not so true for you. Again, salvation, to be authentic, is to be true for me, to be authentic, but to participate with the truth is sincere and authentic, that you'll be saved in the end. And folks, again, all of these are what people today think. But Jesus declared he is the only way on several occasions, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John in the Bible. Folks, the Bible is very authoritative. It's been tried to be disproved for several thousand years, and they just fail every time. So we're driven to one ultimate reality. Do we believe, or do you believe, in salvation in Jesus alone, or do you not? Folks, I can't answer that for you. Do you believe salvation is only through Jesus Christ? What you decide with that question about Jesus is really deciding about everything. Is Jesus your Lord? Is Jesus the name above all names in your life? Is Jesus really your Savior? Folks, if not, you might want to reconsider, because the Bible says salvation is found in no one else. That choice you make right now, folks, that choice is yours alone. If you decide on Jesus, you're deciding in his salvation, following. Folks, it's not a hard life to live. So, but if you don't, that life will be a hard life to leave. Oh yeah, you'll enjoy it today, partying and doing whatever you feel like, thinking, hey, what's true for me isn't true for you. You can do, whatever. If you believe that Jesus Christ is the salvation, no one else can lead you to it but Jesus, Folks, you will find out just how true that statement is. So I hope you all have a great weekend, great rest of your week. God bless you all, and let's get this bird into Prestwick. Okay, looking at the gauges, they're saying 62 miles ahead. And okay, I'll concur. At HALIF, we go direct to Apple. Really curious how we got off course like that. How it does that. Oh well, it did, and not going to be able to explain it. So I personally can't explain it. So no way I could explain it to anyone else. So, all right. So we're just looking for Apple, and just before Apple, we'll start our descent. And again, that's going to be to flight level 240, I believe it was. 260. Then another 13 miles down to 20,000. As we work our way to Prestwick. Partially, that's the reason, folks, I try to keep my cursor on course, just in case. That way I can start turning it in the right direction and then recuperate, figure out where we are and what we need to do. Let me try something. I don't think we have any returns, but let me drop the tilt to 2. All right. Seatbelts, brakes set, radios will be taken care of, spoilers. Yeah, we'll be tracking inbound here on the 291. So we'll go ahead and get turn put in, which will be 17.5. Might pick it up. And we might not. Okay. Basically what we're doing here, folks, I'm dialing in some stuff that as we get on them, I may come off the INS earlier than expected. Probably, I'm going to flip-flop this. Yeah, we'll do that. That way, we'll fly. Actually, I'll set it up here. Then we'll turn inbound on the 29, or is it 290? 90. And then we'll work our way in that way. Kind of rotating between here. We'll move 17.5 over once we get inbound on it. Okay, Apple is about 27 miles. I need okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set for 26. And about 10 miles out, we'll start our descent. And basically what we'll do is move this down. So the ensuing moments. Okay, we're not worried about these. Fuel panel check. EPR will go around below 18. All right. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, what is our minimum? 200? 200. Okay. I think executing descent. Okay, we just crossed Apple. All right, let's go ahead and kill the music because this is where it gets fun. Especially if I'm going to turn this off and do a little VOR to VOR work. 17.5 is just not coming online. It's got me a little concerned. It's 43. So that's a short range VOR. Okay, we're going to have to put speed books up.
Now's the level off.
Okay. All right, now we've got everything online. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, folks, we're going to flip-flop 1750, 1210, I think it was. Set 291. Okay, there we go, folks. We're now turning inbound to the VOR. We're on VOR lock. We're off INS. Okay, actually, do want 1750. Well, yeah. Fly off at this on heading 342. Okay. All right, folks, so we are beginning our approach. Exterior lights. Okay, so head. All right. Again,
18,000 feet.
transition is 6,000. I'm going to see if by chance different transition levels. Sometimes it is. 7,000 at Edinburgh. Okay, so that'll work. All right, folks, again, hope you're enjoying the ride. Hope I've been able to teach a couple things here, what to do, what not to do. And we'll hope for the best here in getting in. Again, I am now flying the airplane, granted with the autopilot, but I'm not using the INS or FMS systems. VOR to VOR at this point. And Toxta is a goal of 7,000. It's going to be tight. But it's 7,000 as well over Turnberg. And then we'll descend to 4,000, actually to 2,000. And slow up. We'll be slowing here to 250 right now. Actually, I'm going to set it for 240. And up the speeds. Because here in a moment, we're going to be slowing to 210. Okay, lights are about to come on. Okay, coming on with the lights.
10,000.
10,000 feet.
All right, now let's slow to 210. And off Toxta, it's 12 miles to Turnberry VOR, which means we'll begin the transition into the 342, probably about 5 miles out.
Now's the level off.
It's a little in. Okay. Hey, Toxta's coming up. Stabilizing out at 7,000. Let me switch over to the ILS. All right. Okay, now as we're getting close here, remember it's line of sight, so it's down below us at about a mile. We'll be, or between 5 and 1, we're going to be passing over it. That's why we got to be. I've come out of tracking, so we can then turn on to it. See it. No. It's a lot to keep in mind, folks. Okay, so we come off of this down to 4, down to 2. Okay. Okay, I'm going to switch into the middle here. Let's actually get down here to GA. Okay.
Cabin crew, prepare for landing.
Cabin ready.
Okay. Down to 4,000.
Flaps 5.
Okay, I'm going to be probably a little quiet here, folks, so my apologies ahead of time. Okay, so pretty much tracking to 12-mile DME, and then we'll drop to another 2,000 feet as we approach.
Flaps 10.
Okay, 3,200 feet supposed to be the ceiling. We'll see. It's 10. Glide slope still below us, just came online. Visor appears to be alive. Go ahead at 11 and set for our 10:30. Okay. Okay, here we go, folks.
$2,500.
Okay,
Gear down. Green light. Localizer alive.
I've taken over the speed because it was getting really low.
Flaps 20.
Glide slope.
Flaps 25.
All right, we're on glide path, on glide slope. Flaps full.
Flaps 30.
Don't have the runway yet. I've got it right there. Okay, and I'm going to bring back the yoke.
$1,000.
1,000.
Okay, and we're stable. Runway in sight, 700 feet.
500.
Glide slope. Glide slope.
400. 300.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope.
Approaching.
Glide slope.
Landing
Glide slope.
stable.
200.
Glide slope. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
100.
Pull up. Pull up.
50.
40,
40.
30,
30.
20,
20.
10.
10.
Check reverse.
Welcome to Prestwick, folks. And
Out, off, reverse. Auto brake off. 60 knots.
okay. Take it, folks. Looks like about 310 feet a minute. We'll see what Mac Air did. All right, folks, we have arrived and start in on the checklists on the ground here. We're momentarily. Okay. Hang on, I'm just getting what I know I need to get taken care of. Before I let it tell me what I forgot. All right, let's go ahead and run it. Let's see, auto brakes. Oops, I don't. Oh yeah, we need to get those taken off. Off. Okay, here we go, folks.
After landing checklist.
Brake pressure.
Check.
Body gear steering.
Arm.
Outer brakes.
Off.
Ignition.
Off.
Engine and wing anti-ice.
Off.
Radar and transponder.
Standby.
Flaps.
Up.
Spoilers.
Down.
Stabilizer trim.
Damn. 7 units.
Outflow valves. Open. Pressurization mode selector. Let's see. Manual. Aft cargo heat. This. Off. APU. Let's see.
I got a feeling that's not where they I have no idea. Cargolux actually flies this. Well, maybe. Let's see. It's quite possible. Oh, it is close to that though. It's in.
Cockpit to ground. Put the chocks on.
Chocks are on.
All right, let's put her to bed, and I'll get that for you here in just a second there, Tucker. Let me get this thing shut down. Yeah, I'll send you the link here in just a second. Let me just get these turned off. All right, let's
Cabin crew, disarm slides.
Cabin ready.
all right, and hit shut down number 3.
All right, secure cockpit checklist. Brakes.
We'll have to skip that, folks. There's always have a problem with it not setting the brake up.
Beacon lights. Off. INS. Align. Probe and window heat. Off.
Back valves. Check. Fuel boost pumps. Let's see. Off. Reserve tank valves. Let's see. Closed. Hydraulic panel. This. Check. Oxygen. Check. Flight recorder. Off.
Emergency lights. Damn. Off. Radar. Off.
INS. Wait. Off. Radio switches. Wait.
Okay, I'm not going to turn those off.
Check was completed.
All right, so there we go. All right, let me get that link for you, sir. Here you go and there's the link that I got mine from. Okay, and yeah, we do need to go here.
Cockpit to ground. Connect ground power. Ground power connected.
Okay, so there you go, folks. We're into blocks. Let's take a look here. Mac Air recorded us in at 231 feet a minute. So we got that filed away. Just want to double check. Okay, it's been received. They'll get to it when they get to it. And we're off VATSIM. All right, so that means we can go backwards if need be. We have a lot of troubles. The big problem I have with this plane, aside from getting it in the air taking so long, when I set the parking brake after landing, it doesn't set up. I have to actually put the chocks in. But folks, I highly recommend this plane. This is, I mean, you're going to work your butt off here to get it airborne and get it landed and shut down. En route, you still got things to do, and if you put the INS up here instead of the FMCs, you got a lot of work to do, or the LTV. So be ready for that. But it's a great airplane. I love flying it. I just need to come over here right now. And we're starting to deplane and unload. Actually, never gone this way. I usually do it instantly, but you know what? We'll let it do it. All right. So let's take a look at how we did here, folks. Let's pull up Sim Toolkit. Right? Oh, ATC came down. That's fine. I see the North Atlantic tracks are up, though. All right, so the big thing I'll have to do here is finish the flight, and there we go. Once you're at the logbook, any flight in your logbook, you can go back and see how your landings were. So for this one, we'll just do this flight. I thought I had this plane in there. I'll have to check. All right, so hour and 51-minute flight. Went 528 miles, and you see the amount of fuel we used. Nice, easy landing. It's always hard to believe when you see it right at about a G that it was 309 feet, and 137's 3 under our VREF speed. So, folks, those are all really good numbers. Now, from here, if you click full landing report, this is where you get all the metric data for your landing. And I'll tell you right now, that picture says it all. All right, 1,400 feet down the runway, just 2 feet off the center line. And a plane this big, that's not bad. And a couple of things now to show off. Okay, finally got a good runway for this. All right, you technically, now in the simulator, I don't care. In the real world, you don't land in this displaced threshold area. Your landing starts with this white line. That is the threshold. So anything this direction on this runway, you shouldn't be touching down. From here to the right, if you will, that is your landing zone, folks. It stretches from this hash mark all the way back to the blue dot and that white line there. Now, the white lines and all around the runway, these dots aren't. So just to let you know. Some people, you never know. All right, also, real quick, get you up to speed with aviation. Again, threshold. These aiming points, or these hash marks, are 500 feet apart. Get to that in a second. What we aim for visually is right here. They're called the aiming point. They're very easy to see. Guess what I see down here? So cargo, is that cargo? Anyway, just happened to catch that. Sorry, folks, got me distracted. But anyway, this is where when you come in visually, you're looking to land. Usually the pappies are right there or very close to it to help you get right on the mark, as we did. Okay, over here, 120, should have been 123. Quibble over that pitch, 1.5. Should have been a little higher, closer to 3. 137 knots, we've already been over the G and the... So folks, overall, numbers-wise, we did a good job on the landing. And I think I was the only one that put in... yeah, it was only me. So, back here just to make sure. Yeah, it looks like I was the only one that I can tell. All right, so we'll go OK with that and get rid of that. See how we're doing on the D plane here. Hey, we're empty. Right, so let's go back, close up.
Cockpit to ground. Disconnect ground power. Cockpit to ground. Remove the chocks.
All right, let's see what happens if we try to go and see
Ground
how
power
our
disconnected.
flight did. All right, we'll start from here. Let's get some appropriate music queued up. And let's bring it in. By the way, this feature, folks, is built into X-Plane. It's not an add-on, a plug-in, or anything like that. It comes out of the box, X-Plane 12, X-Plane 11. Can't speak for the earlier ones, never flew. Must fuss, you gotta get a download, you gotta start it where you want the recordings to restart, and then you gotta reconfigure for that. Here, just a couple reconfigs on the ground, but then you can just go all the way back if you want to, your takeoff taxi, all of that good stuff. Oh, not good. Nose gear landing. Maintenance is gonna hate me for that. Okay. Now it's not as good of a landing. I think it's all point landing. Oh well. You know, we do the best we can. All right, looking good, folks. I mean, really, it was a good landing. We're going to get up in the airplane here and after this one. Let's take a look at it from this angle. All right, let's see how it looked from the package point of view. Well, folks, that is a really good landing. I had a hard time until the spoilers came up on the ground. All right, folks, folks. Well, that is going to be a wrap for the flight from Luxembourg to Prestwick, Glasgow, Scotland. Folks, I hope you enjoyed the ride. We had a great time flying it, even though we got a little problem getting off course for some strange reason. We'll call it gremlins. So, folks, I hope you all have a great weekend. Be kind, be careful, be safe. We'd love to see you the start of next week. So, and as our verse of the day said, salvation is found in no one else, for there is no other name under heaven given to men by which we must be saved. Only Jesus Christ is the name that can save us. Folks, we'll see you Tuesday, and check down below here in our Twitch channel to find out what we're doing next week, or come on over to our Discord channel, folks. Here's an invite to it. Love to have you. I'll be working 24 hours tomorrow, so have at her, chat in it. If you got a question, I'll be checking in from time to time in there. But folks, I hope you had a great time. So from all of us here at Flying with Mike, God bless you all, and we'll see you next week.